I mean, it's going to sound like a broken record, but really, it kind of comes down to shooting today. I mean, you guys, you out-rebounded them. You're kind of even in the turnover battle. Everything else on the sheet's kind of within reason of being even. And, 20, what did it wind up being? 26% from the field and 25 from three. I mean, that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, the telltale sign was that first quarter again. Like we did the same thing down there at their place. I think we were 0 for 6 in the first quarter at their place from the three-point line. And tonight we were 0 for 10. And they weren't all great looks, but there weren't too many bad ones in that first quarter. And even if you don't look at the percentage, if you just look at quantities, because sometimes you can focus on percentages, but sometimes you just need volume. And we got 14 more shots than they did, but we made 4 fewer shots than they did, and we out-rebounded them. And you're right, I felt like we won the turnover battle, except we had 3 consecutive possessions down the stretch at that last minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, and we made back-to-back-to-back turnovers. One of them led to a transition basket on their end. And so those 3, if we get a shot and don't make 3 turnovers there, we're looking at 12 turnovers against a really good defensive team. And so that was the goal this week, was to get the turnovers down. We just been turning the ball over way too much, and so we did a better job in that area. We did a better job in rebounding against a really good rebounding team. And so, but the bottom line is it's hard to win with 41 points. And so we've got to make some shots.
Yeah, I think really, they start 9-0, and then there's a run about 5 minutes in the third quarter that they go on a 12-0 run. Those 2 runs,
right,
in the first and the third, kind of bookended. It's what? I can't even count anymore. What was it, 41? So it's 18-point game. I mean, it's kind of even other than those 2 stretches, but those are 2 big.
That's it. And within those stretches, I'm a little frustrated that and number 2, Boldrave is a great player, but if she's allowed to hold our defense back, then it's hard to guard her. She's a tough player to guard. And that's not the only thing. But within that, there's some possessions that extend or swing that run in the other direction. And then on our end, we're missing some shots that we need to stop that run. And we even took some timeouts. We ran some plays, and we just missed some easy shots by the rim or an open 3. And that's what we got to keep working at. And so if we can keep our 4 objectives, limit turnovers. I felt like we made good progress this week. We've worked on that a lot, but we worked on it even more this week because we had a little bit more time. Make layups. I don't know how much progress we made there tonight. We still got work to do on making layups. And shoot the ball better at the free throw line. I felt like we just didn't get to the line a lot. And some of that is because, you've got 6'6" inside. It feels like every time you go in there, it's contested, and and it is. And then do a better job on the board. So I felt like in the rebounding and the turnovers, we made progress. We've still got to get more free throws, make more free throws, and make more layups.
I know, from Lily in there that Caitlin's battling illness, but really some good minutes from her.
Yes.
I thought, she was big, and then Aaliyah kind of in there battling and wound up with a double-double. Again, your post play there were some good things. Again, you're kind of battling through stuff.
That's it. And Caitlin literally got sick yesterday and didn't practice. So today she got up and felt a little better and got in here and got some shots up early before and I thought she gave us good minutes, and she's learning. Coach Ivy Brown, Coach Ivy Woodcock, and I talk, and I said, the advantage was that Ivy had Chastity Gooch, and then Raneem had Ivy, and now the problem is we need somebody and she just doesn't have that, and so she's kind of learning on the fly, and she's doing a good job. She keeps making progress, and she fumbled some balls in there, and one she kind of bounced off her foot a little bit, but you can see a calmness about her that she didn't have 6 weeks ago. And so that's progress, and she's going to be a really good player, you guys. She is, and so she's working at it. It would help if we just made some shots and some of that momentum. I felt like our defense all night was solid. I thought they did a great job of communicating. We fouled some that we didn't want to. We gave up some threes late in the shot clock. We doubled a couple of times when we weren't supposed to be doubling, and then they're really good at finding the open shooter. But I felt like their focus, Their communication on defense was really solid all night, and for the most part, we were doing an okay job boxing out and getting defensive boards.
I mean, your players kind of follow up on it. Your players were saying they felt like that may have been one of the best defensive games you guys have played all year as a team, and that if you could take anything from this game to build on, it's how well they played defensively.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. I think I'm allergic to missed threes. I probably would have sneezed a lot more. Yes, I think we can qualify that a little bit. It's the best game we played defensively against a team that has 4 really solid perimeter shooters and a really great post player inside. So all 5 players can score. And so they did a really good job of handing players off and switching and not switching and talking. And so we played other games. I thought the Louisiana Tech game that we played here, we played a really good defensive game that game. It's just that it's hard to win with 41 points. And so if you can get to 70, you can win a lot of games. And we've not had this trouble scoring in the past. And usually we're number 1 or 2 in the league in scoring. And so we've just really kind of gotten to a spot where we're having a hard time getting shots to fall.
Obviously, the offense is kind of the big story. You guys kind of been up and down in that
Yep.
season. Obviously, you've had a lot of players fall, illness, injury.
Right.
Acacia being one of those, but Alexis has kind of stepped up in that category since Acacia's injury back in
Yep.
Tennessee, averaging, I think, close to 18 points per game coming into today anyway. So what was kind of the story of her night and kind of how she kind of struggled with?
Well, I think defensively it was tough for her tonight, but they do a good job of keeping their body on you. And if you're not going to get that blocking call when you're dribbling, if you're going to allow multiple touches or extended bars, then that advantage goes to the defense. And I felt like there was times when, and Lexi's doing a better job of using her teammates, finding it and not feeling like, when you take an increased role, doesn't mean you have to do more by yourself. You just got to get more people involved, and she's doing a good job of that. And tonight she had a couple of turnovers, and that she knows exactly which ones they are, that we're trying to eliminate those type of passes, and that she knows exactly what it is. And I think she's improving in that area. She had 6 assists. She might have had 16 if we didn't shoot 26% from the field. And so she's a fighter. Like Lexi Mead's got as much fight in her as anybody in the country for her size, pound for pound. And so, she had trouble getting that 3 to fall in tonight. And, we need somebody to make shots. And Lexi's been, not just since Casey's been out, Lexi for most of the season has been one of our best three-point shooters percentage-wise. Her volume hasn't always been, tonight's a little bit more than usual, but her volume hasn't been as high. But percentage-wise, she's been one of our best. And so, I think maybe that's some of the defense, maybe that's some of the minutes she's playing. We don't have a whole lot of choices there, but I think she'll come back and she'll be fine.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.